Good morning and welcome to this second day of Odoo experience. We still have 80 talks today and 55 talks tomorrow, so we only begin our journey of discovering Odoo 9. Today, this morning, I will talk about a little bit of strategy and where we are going with Odoo in the future. But before we start talking about the future, let's explain a little bit where we are today. So 2018 has been an amazing year. We have recruited 120 developers, so now we have a workforce to develop features that we never had before. Today, we have 4.1 million of users. It's huge. We are taking users to the competitors by millions. But you know what? The number that is not visible here, but that I prefer, is that these users are happy. This is not something you could say for the other software. And 26% is the growth of our user of existing customer, which basically means, I like this number because it basically means that the customers that are using Odoo are growing faster than the market. Their user, they recruit more and they put more users in production than the market. It means that Odoo is efficient in some sort. 17,000, that's the number of community modules we have. We do have the largest community of open source developer and proprietary developer because there is also an app for a fee. And it makes the #1 business app store worldwide. 64% is the growth of our revenue. So we continue, even though we are started to become big. We continue to grow at a very fast speed. So year over year, we grew our revenue by 64%. But that's probably the best number. 22,000, it's the estimated number of jobs we have created of people selling or developing or doing project management on Odoo. In just a few years, we have created 22,000 jobs. I think that's a very good achievement. And we are here, and these numbers are due to a great community of partners, of developers, and our customer, because our customer help us a lot too. So thank you about that. So we are very happy to have Odoo boost efficiency in companies and innovation. So together we have built an amazing product. And I'd like to show you a video on how this product translates into having innovative companies using it. Yep.
Self-driving cars are a real phenomenon. They're not just a technological innovation, they're a societal innovation. Just think about all of the time you spend wasted in your car in traffic. If you live in LA, you spend 2 hours of your day each way just commuting to work. There's so much human potential that could be unlocked by using autonomous vehicles, and it's really exciting to be a part of that push forward.
The Autodrive competition is a 3-year-long international competition between 8 universities, including Virginia Tech, sponsored by GM and SAE International. And the objective of this competition is to develop a level 4 autonomous vehicle within the next 3 years.
My favorite part of the project has been working with a diverse group of other people. I am a mechanical engineer, and it's been fantastic to work with people from computer engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, and make a truly interdisciplinary team and work on something very outside my own comfort zone. I really love Virginia Tech because it's filled with like the smartest people on the planet, but you wouldn't know it. And by that, I mean everyone here is extremely unpretentious. I deal with making sure the point actually goes, or the car actually goes from point A to point B.
As the leader in this group and trying to educate students, is I want the student team to have access to the latest management tools and the software necessary for them to succeed. So they went out and selected Odoo as part of their toolbox, if you will, to work as a team.
Odoo has been extremely helpful in actually keeping track of everything that we get. I mentioned earlier that we have hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep track of for this competition. Figuring out where that goes is tremendously difficult. Before we had Odoo, it was basically one person keeping track of all the receipts, and she was ready to tear her hair out. So it's really exciting to have something that streamlines our process and makes it easier for everyone to keep track of where things go and where they are now. We use Odoo to keep track of the wide variety of things that we have and part of building an autonomous vehicle. We have wires, we have hardware, we have sensors. We have to know where all of it is, whether it came in, whether it was signed for, whether we put it in the garage, and Odoo helped us keep track of all of it.
I suppose what I love most about Odoo is the fact that it has various apps which can be used for different applications within the project. Whether it's keeping track of our finances, keeping track of the different items that we've bought, or just keeping track of like the pizza that we occasionally buy. I think Odoo's really nifty in that sense.
So how did we go from a small company living in a farm to a product and a community and a partner network having such an impact on companies' efficiency and innovation? Let's have a look at the past. In 2012, if you would compare the different products in terms of user-friendliness, are they easy to use, and business scope, you would have had this graph. Odoo was good in everything, but also not very good in everything. We were not the best in terms of features and scope, and we were not the best in terms of user-friendliness. But as we worked hard and we had a clean technical framework and architecture, here is how the market evolved. 2 years after, we were there. 2 years after, we were there, And we consider today that Odoo, in terms of business scope, go further than any other ERP. We do e-commerce, email marketing, point of sale, business intelligence. Usually these tools are not part of an ERP product, with the user-friendliness of the single app vendor. You can start Odoo with a few clicks, install a few apps, and grow with the system. So we really come to the point where Odoo today has both the business scope and the user-friendliness. Of course, I took the graph that I like, which is about the products. If I would have done marketing, visibility of the company, we would be nothing compared to SAP and Microsoft Navision, of course. But this graph is important because this graph is the value we give to our customer. So how do we do? How will we do for the next year? Because if you look at how everyone evolved, everyone is moving on the top right corner. For year after year, everyone tried to move to the top right corner. So how will we do in a few years when all the products will be simple and all the products will cover the business needs? We have to stay on top of the competition. We have to keep being the leader that we are today. So we have to break the roof and go higher than the limit of this graph. So we'll explain you today how we will do that. But first, the two components of this graph are important. Usability is very important because that's what attracts millions of users. But having a lot of feature in the software is important because that's what gives the value to the users. And if you have both, you attract a lot of users with a great value for these users. So how can we go higher with the value and do much more than what we do today? In a few years, everyone will have business intelligence, e-commerce, point of sale integrated. So we need to go further than just adding a few features in the product. So let's have a look at what we have done over the past few years. It started with Odoo apps. We have done apps for CRM, accounting, sales, inventory, manufacturing, and then we went further than the ERP scope with point of sale, e-commerce. That was the base, the Odoo apps. And then we started to connect with the customer. It started with the email gateway, the chatter in Odoo, the chat system, the portal, SMS, everything that allows to be more efficient working with our customer or our partner. And then we have added the basic services integration. Payment, automated payment, bank synchronization, automated carriers for the shipping connectors, voice over IP. That was last year. This year, we started to add advanced service integrated with the system. Lead generation, posting job offers, sending postal services, artificial intelligence so that you don't need to record your vendor bills. And we'll continue in that direction. Tomorrow, we will have loans. You do a customer invoice, you send the invoice, in one click you get the money right away. And it's a loan where you pay a few percentage for this loan. And we'll continue on this area. And if we continue on this area, we'll go much further than just adding a few features to the product. We'll really make companies more efficient. Because making companies more efficient, it's not only about giving a tool. If you ask today, what are the main things a small to mid-sized company needs, they will all tell you, they will not tell you it's a CRM, they will not tell you it's an accounting, they will all tell you it's cash. And if you can provide that kind of service, bringing cash, bringing job offers, bringing leads to the customer, then we go to the next level, and we can become more than a product, we can become a platform that offers everything that small to mid-size and large company needs. So that's the future, that is the way we will break the roof of this graph. But if you want to reach 100 millions of users, from 4 to 100 millions of users, having an amazing product is not enough. We also have to build a worldwide service offering that is as disruptive as our product has been. And we have a good beginning. We have today 1,350 partners. Last year, at the same date, it was 834. So it's growing super fast. And it's very good because these partners are providing the service offer in the different countries. And let's have a look at our partner network. We have seen the product, now let's have a look at the partner network. I think we should rate the partner on two axes. First is the development services. There are some partners that are very good. They have good developers that can provide great service at developing new features and customization for the customer. The second axis, horizontally, is the business services. Project management, training, accounting, experience in manufacturing, inventory management. Those are the business services. And today, if we have a look at our partner network, if every dot is a partner, it looks like that, more or less. We notice something. We notice that the majority of the gold partners are in this area. So we do have gold partners that have nearly no development and that focus mostly on and only on business services. And we do have gold partners that have a development team, but also a big business service team. All in all, those guys are the best implementation companies we have. And there is one characteristic that defines a good company is that they are good in providing business services. Development services today is not enough if we want to disrupt the market. With traditional software, implementation requires a lot of development. But today, all the products get more mature and mature. It's not only Odoo. Every competitor is getting better, so the number of custom development required to deploy an ERP gets lower and lower. But with Odoo, now we can focus on delivering more business services to reach an untapped market, which is the SMEs. Why is it important? Because the margins are in business services. Customers pay more for a project manager than a developer, because the customers are in demand of services. Look at who are the biggest service companies in the world. It's Deloitte, PwC, McKinsey. Those companies are all very good in providing business services. The ones that are good in development services, it's tier 2. You will have companies like Bull, Tata, and TCS, and so on. So clearly there is a demand on the market on that. And why am I insisting on that? It's because in the history of Odoo, we started with the development people. So now if you look at the customer, you are a customer and you have to decide which partner I should work with. You can, usually, in order to know what kind of partner you have, it's very easy. Look at how many developers they have and look at how many project managers they have. If it's a company with 10 developers for 2 project managers, you could say it's a development company. If it's a company with 10 people delivering business services, accountant, project manager, business analyst, trainers, and 2 developers, it's an ERP company. So there is a clear difference here that you can easily rate based on the number of people the company has. And you could say this line in the middle is the 50-50. You have 5 developers for 5 business analysts or 500 developers for 500 business analysts. So one of the challenges we have today at Odoo is to help our partner grow faster and get better margin. And I think the best way to do that is to help them move forward on business services. And it's important because historically, as the product was not as mature as it is today, there was a large range of development, and we started building an open source community. So we have a lot of very, very good developers in the product. We still need them. The development is a strength. But we need to have more business services. If you compare to the traditional network of Dynamics or ICP, they are more mature than we are in business services, and I think that's something we should improve in the next years. So, having said that, you see where the product is going, where the partner network is going. And now what we will do in order to work with the partner and better develop the partner program. We have 2 things in mind for the next year. One is to be more strict about the quality of the partner. Today the partner represents the product, so we want the best partner to be more visible and the partner that are less good to be a bit less visible. And we also want to be more accessible. You would think it's 2 different things you have to choose. Either you are strict or you get more partner, but you can't do both. I think we can do both, and I think we need to do both. Why do we need to do both? Because we do need a lot of partners. 1,300 is good, but according to the size of the market, don't forget that today Odoo has less than 0.1% of the market, we will need qualified people on Odoo. We will need more project managers, more business analysts, more developers on Odoo in the future. So we need to be more accessible, to bring this knowledge, train people, and have the people that will do the implementation in the future. We also have to be more strict, because we need quality people to do the implementation for the customer. So how we will grade the partner in the future? Over the past, we were grading the partner between Ready, Silver, and Gold based on the number of and size of the project they did, how many people, users they put in production and they sold. I think it's not enough today we have to also rate according to the satisfaction they do with customer. So how will we grade the partner in the future? We'll grade on 3 things: experience, competencies, and customer satisfaction. In order to decide who is ready, silver and gold, we will check on these 3 things. Of course, it's very difficult because these 3 things cannot be subjective. It has to be very clear, measurable, so that there is no possible discussion. So how will we do that? Experience is the number of users they put in production. Number of license sold, that's very easy to measure. The one who deployed 500 users in production has, of course, more experience than the one who deployed 5 users in production last year. Competencies, we will do that with a certification. We do have a certification mechanism today, but we don't enforce it. As of next year, we will enforce the certification for the partner. I can reassure you, our goal is not to make money on the certification like traditional players, so it's very cheap. I think it's $250 for the certification. But we want to be sure that people are trained, follow the certification version after version. So we need to be sure that when we say someone is gold or is silver, the customer should have the guarantees that he has a lot of competencies. And the third one is the customer satisfaction. How to measure the customer satisfaction? It's very difficult. It's very subjective because when you do an implementation project, at the beginning everyone is happy. Then just before going in production or right after going in production, everyone is stressed and there are lots of issues. And 3 months after, everyone is happy. So it's very subjective to measure the customer satisfaction, but we needed a number to do that. And the number we measure is the renewal rate. How many of these customers that signed the first year continued on the second year? And that will measure the customer satisfaction of our partner. So as of next year, based on the renewal date of the partner program, we'll base the grading of the partner, ready, silver, gold, on these 3 axes. And how? But I also want to be more accessible. We want to build the Odoo offer. We want to train more people, have more competencies in our network, in our community. So we need to be accessible. And in order to be more accessible, we introduced a few months ago the Learning Partner Program. The Learning Partner Program gives to the partner everything he needs to start with Odoo. He has access to the education platform, to Odoo SH, to the source code of Odoo Enterprise, to a test database on Odoo Online. So that's the learning partner. We made it at a very cheap price so that everyone can start. Money is not a problem anymore. With one condition, these partners are not yet official partners. We don't promote them to our customer. So they are learning. And we expect those so that it allows this partner to start. And once they are ready to be promoted to customer, they will become an official partner which is ready silver or gold grade. So with these 2 measures, we'll be able to attract way more people in the partner network and build more competencies around Odoo, because Learning Partner is extremely accessible to any company. Even if you are a 1-person company, you can start there. And at the same time, for the partner we promote to our customer, we will grade them on 3 levels, which are competencies, customer satisfaction, and experiences. So here is the table that summarizes the 3. In order to become ready, silver, and gold, you will require 1, 2, or 3 certification from different engineers. You will need a number of users between 10, 50, or 150. And in order to remain silver and gold, you will need a retention rate of 70% of your customer or 80% of your customer. Which means that if a silver partner tomorrow, he has sold 10 projects, and among the 10 projects, 5 have stopped after 1 year, we will put him ready. And most probably will not like that, so we'll go back to learning or something like that. And at the same time, we'll have a lot of partners that we will not make visible on our website, but that are learning. So they get access to all the Odoo resources, the education platform, the source code, Odoo SH, so that they can start building competencies, which is what we require in the network. Okay, that was about the partner program and the product. So now we see where the product is going, and we see where we are going in order to build up the competencies around Odoo. Let's talk about the product more into the details now, Odoo 12. So Odoo 12 has been released today. Actually, it was yesterday evening when we were all partying. One of our team was still doing the release for both community and enterprise. So you have Odoo 12 community and Odoo 12 enterprise that are ready. If you go, and I have a small video that recap all the features that you will find in Odoo 12. There are so many features in the new video that the release video start to be a bit long. But for how we are now, for existing customer, if you subscribe online on odoo.com, you can already use the new version. It's up and running already. For new customer, for existing customer on Odoo Enterprise, you will be able to upgrade your database on upgrade.odoo.com. You upload your database and your custom module. It will be ready in 2 to 3 weeks. We are migrating our own database right now, and we already succeeded to pass a few customers as beta customers to upgrade. New customer, you can register right now on Odoo Online or by Odoo Enterprise, and you will get the version 12. So how will we promote this version 12? We'll do Odoo roadshows. So last year, we did a roadshow for Odoo 11. We have done 74 events. We have had 20,000 attendees in 62 different countries. That's amazing because everywhere we went, we had an average of 200 attendees per event. 81% were decision makers and 70% said they have a project on Odoo. So it's huge. It's like we are in a B2B business, but you have the visibility of a B2C company. In Odoo 12, we'll do 200 cities in 1 year. So we will nearly triple the number of roadshows we'll do. Just on Q4 this year, we already have 51 events planned in all the different countries. And now, to finish this session, I would like to invite a customer on the stage, but before, I will show you a small video of Lab Society, and then we'll have them on stage explaining how they work with Odoo.
Lab Society got started in a garage. A lot of success stories start in a garage, and ironically, that's where we started as well. And basically what happened was we were in the backside of my retail store, and we realized that there was nobody there supplying this industry. So we started purchasing things at wholesale and started working off of little laptops on a plastic table and really started grinding it out on social media and blew the brand up. In-house, we use a lot of different technologies to streamline our R&D process. We use a 3D printer to print prototypes so that we don't have to send things overseas first to get prototypes, so it speeds up the prototyping process. And not only that, but it allows us to quickly test things. Not only that, but we'll go through multiple rounds of prototyping on just about every product we release to make sure that it's perfect again before release to the public. Odoo has not only revolutionized our business, but it's saved us from disaster.
Basically, my job is to make sure that the company continues to operate and is fluid. Sometimes it's something on the manufacturing end, sometimes on the shipping and receiving end, sometimes on the sales end. Odoo allows me to go into the back end and pretty much fix any issue. It's very integrated. It's very easy for me to understand and find the issue, just the way the platform works. And everything's so tied together that if you can't find it in one application, there's probably another application that's going to detail that information to help you solve the problem.
Some of the challenges we face would be ensuring we have product on the shelves for the orders that are going out the door. Odoo facilitates that by keeping track of every single product with barcodes, so they're easy to find on the shelf and gives us reorder points to make sure we have that product on the shelf. I use Odoo every day in my work. It streamlines the shipping and receiving process and makes inventory control a breeze. I have used other ERP systems, and they're not as streamlined as Odoo.
Odoo is a very user-friendly platform. I think it takes a couple days at most to really truly understand what you're doing. We've recently had 2 new hires, and they're already using the system very well. It allows us to, in the reporting session, to put SOPs in there, which makes it really easy to train employees and integrate them not only into our company, but also the Odoo system.
We use the platform to use every aspect of our business. So we literally are controlling our manufacturing process, our shipping, delivery, sales, accounting. We're even using it for project flow at this point. We're trying to integrate the platform for every aspect that we can possibly use it for, because not only does it maximize our efficiency, but it also allows us to be scalable. Not only has it streamlined all of our processes, but it's honestly been revolutionary for creating new processes. We've used different aspects of the system to add to our QA/QC, to our development process, and not only that, for our sales process, to ensure that things are taken care of at every step and we don't miss anything, which in the past we did.
I think the team has been very helpful in getting us into the platform and integrating us from our old point of sale system. I absolutely love all the different applications and how easy it is for me to navigate them as an operations manager. And I think moving forward as a company with exponential growth, it's the perfect platform for us looking forward to the future.
Impressive, isn't it? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Johan Wouters, CPO at Odoo. Since years, customer success stories have been standing firmly during the Odoo days. To that purpose, I invite you to extend a warm welcome to both gentlemen of Lab Society, Michael Maybach and Eric Gang. Please welcome them. Hey. Please. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
May I ask you to briefly introduce you to our audience, please?
My name is Mike. I started Lab Society with my partner Randy about, I guess, almost 5 years ago, or something, 4 years ago. And yeah, I've basically been using Odoo since April. Probably actually we started using it last year, and it's definitely, like I just said in the video, it's pretty much saved my business.
My name's Eric Gang, and I'm the Director of Technology at Lab Society. I've been working with them for about 2 years and helped coordinate the implementation of Odoo, as well as the previous systems that did not work out. So that'll be something we chat about. But yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to know a little bit more about your business and your business model. Would that be possible, please?
So at Lab Society, we cater to the specific hemp industry, and that's been emerging and exploding over in the United States. It's actually exploding all around the world, really. And we've decided to cater scientific and laboratory solutions specifically to this industry. So that, coupled with educational industries, biotech, and pharmaceutical industries, we've become a leader on small-scale distillation technologies and laboratory automation in the hemp space, and we've also provided a lot of education on the actual scientific processes that go along with things that happen in the laboratory.
What would you say would make you unique as a business amongst your competitors in your space?
I would say the thing that makes us the most unique at this point is our level of technological integration in all aspects of the business. Aside from using Odoo for literally everything at this point. I mean, we've switched over our manufacturing operations. I'm starting to use it for product development now too. I've been trying to use the project module to actually show the marketing team where certain developmental projects are at, because that's one of the biggest issues, is translating product development and new things coming out with the marketing, because a lot of times we aren't ready to actually photo or develop marketing materials until the product's ready. So I would say that, coupled with our new software platform that we've been working on for over a year, that's going to control a lot of the devices that are in the laboratory, as well as others, believe it or not, actually uses similar technology to the IoT box.
And we'll be the only company in the space that is going to have software coupled with hardware, a little bit of the Apple model, if you will. So taking a tip from the pros.
Yeah, so I hear that technology is extremely dominant in your business model. Could you indicate in product development how technology plays a role in that?
Sure, absolutely. We use a variety of different technologies. We use a lot of 3D modeling and whatnot to actually create the products. We also use a 3D printer to actually prototype things, as we talked about in the video. That's been saving us a lot of time on just prototyping different designs for fitment and making sure that the form function is there before we actually send things off. So we're saving a lot of money there. As far as other technologies, I would say that the vast majority of things are, at this point, we're all computer-based. There's really no paper, I would say. The only papers are handing invoices to customers in the store.
And printing checks.
And checks.
Oh, it sounds impressive. Was Odoo a Greenfield operation, or did you use any software in any of your business areas beforehand? It
Yeah.
makes you smile.
Yeah, we definitely did. So I came on about 2.5 years ago working with Lab Society, tasked with both bringing us online, e-commerce, et cetera, and figuring out the best way to scale beyond the previous platform we were on. It was a very interesting endeavor. Having jumped right into it and also learning about the industry and the company itself, we made several missteps with systems that were not equipped to scale with the amount of business that we were bringing in and the complexity of the offerings, be it manufacturing, consulting services, education, and just the vast product line that we have. We have, I think, over 1,900 SKUs at this point. So with all those challenges, we went through, I think, about 4 different platforms to the point where, Mike was coming to me saying, like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. Like, I'm spending 4 hours a day correcting mistakes, and we have a system that is just adding inventory from nowhere. So there were just a lot of problems, and fortunately, we found Odoo through a mutual a company that we know and have worked with. They suggested we take a look. Mike said, hey, can you do a little research? And I dove in and spent about 3 months trying to build out the platform and all its complexities for our company, myself, which proved to be a very, very large challenge, which at that point we decided to bring on one of the gold partners, Sodexis, and they helped us through a 4-month period to get us onto Odoo, migrate all of our data, all of our accounting, helped us correct and write our accounting process and practices. We weren't, being a new green company, we're a bit young. We had some learning to do about accounting, and Sodexis really helped us make that the focus of the business and made the technology work for the accountants rather than the accountants having to go around, ask questions, and figure out what's going on. So it's been absolutely incredible, and after seeing the Odoo 12 demo yesterday, I think we have an instance getting added today so that we can start playing, and we're going to continue to drop other platforms that we use and bring as much as possible into Odoo. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I would say the best way to describe it was changing the engine on an airplane while you're flying. And it was not only unbelievably difficult, I mean, aside from all the data leakage that we were having from the old software system, I mean, it was to the point where we were legitimately not, like, customers weren't getting their full orders because of the way that the inventory system was taking things out. So we were at the point where we had back orders, we owed people things, it was just a huge mess. And once we actually were on Odoo, it was, I mean, aside from the training aspect, getting everyone, on the same brainwave with it, it was a dream once it actually started clicking through. It's like, just because of the accountability aspect, the checks and balances, there's always you can find things by digging through it, and you can figure out where the mistake was made, rather than just the cloud.
And as Taylor mentioned in the video, our operations manager, it now does only take a few days to really onboard somebody. It was kind of like Fabien was saying in the presentation earlier, that first 3 months, high happiness, then a little bit of an ebb, because it's a huge change for a company, especially one that's in process, and we couldn't take a break. We didn't close the store. We did the actual switch over a weekend and just busted our humps making sure it got done. And those first few months were hard. It was a lot of calls and assurances saying, just work through it. If there's an issue, write it down, and we'll work, we'll find a solution. And honestly, that's been one of the best aspects of Odoo. We haven't had to say no yet, which is one of the best things a business can deal with. So Odoo's been able to accommodate every challenge and every customization. Also, again, with the help of Sodexis, their customization team is tip-top.
Congratulations to Sodexis. It seems all having gone awfully fast. What is the overall time frame we are looking at when you talk about your Odoo implementation?
So again, if I would have jumped right in and just gone with a partner, I think it would have been, well, let me back up a little. because we had such, our accounting really was in a bit of disarray, and same with our inventory situation. So because of that migration process, I think it extended the implementation process by about probably 2 months. So the overall process for us took about 5 months, and we hit the date exactly when we needed to hit it. So we had an April 30th launch, and you know, our team came together and we hit it. So April 1st launch, wrong side of the month.
That's still pretty impressive. So how do you develop processes for Odoo? How is the mechanism behind it to come to that point?
One of the best ways that Eric and I have found is I'll literally sit there in my office and I'll come up with something that I really need done. Like, for instance, we did something recently with a sales program where we wanted to have multiple commission tiers for different types of sales representatives. So basically coming up with a process flow for that, then Eric and I collaborate and try to work out how it actually could be implemented into the system. And then from there, Eric works with Sodexis, where they actually will be like, okay, well, this makes sense, this doesn't, we can actually do it this way, and then I would say within a week or two, we usually have something to test in our test database, and then once it's tested and it fully works, then we implement it and we're good to go. And this has been the process for, I mean, the past 6 months, and it's been very successful. And like Eric said in the last piece, that realistically, there's been no.
Yeah.
We've never been told, no, you can't do this.
Yeah, it's and it is a very collaborative effort, which I've found every idea has gotten better because when like he said, it starts with us. He kind of prattles off the exact business need, and then I think about it from a user standpoint, experience standpoint, and then Sodexis takes it a step further and pushes back or agrees completely. But when I like pushback in terms of, have you thought about doing it this way? Or if we need it done sooner, why don't we not do this aspect of it yet? Get the core part out, and then come back and add that, you know, other feature. The commission, for instance, we wanted to limit products to certain sales teams, but we can also manually do that until we have it technically built in. So that was like an example of, okay, cool, we can get this done way quicker if we leave that part out, and then at that point, we got it launched, and then we added that part in. So it was perfect.
Can you give us an idea that the growth you went through whilst going through the implementation in parallel?
Yeah, honestly, we went through a major growth during the implementation. That was probably the hardest part. Not only were we changing the engine on the airplane while it was flying, but the airplane was getting heavier and bigger and full of more people. And the warehouse, and we also moved into a new warehouse literally at the same time. So we moved into the warehouse that was in the video, and the company pretty much, I don't want to say doubled, but it went up about 50% in revenue during the period of switch. So it was definitely a very difficult and timely we had to get it done fast. Really had to get it done fast.
And to that, I think it was a 26% number in the earlier video about user growth in a company. We've done that, if not more so. The company, from just a people perspective, has doubled since the beginning of the year, or even honestly since probably beginning of the summer. We've been really bringing on new people and allowing ourselves to, like, we've got to make a few new hires recently that are going to get to focus on really interesting parts of growing the business rather than, you know, day to day moving numbers around, moving inventory around. It's future thinking projects.
Yeah, less operational hires and more growing the business for the future hires to actually gain more market share.
Yeah.
Can you give an idea of the geographical coverage of your business operations?
We do business all around the world. So primarily we're in the United States, and we have distributors that sell our product, I mean, pretty much everywhere in the U.S. We've been doing a lot more business in Canada with the recent legislative changes. A lot of business in Colombia. We've been doing business in Italy. We have some customers in the UK. Honestly, all around the world at this point.
And from our internal business standpoint, we are in New York, Denver, and LA, and work collaboratively very much to the ease of with utilizing Odoo has made that a lot easier. We all are on our voice over IP phones and can connect and collaborate at any time, and it's been great.
So what are the challenges you're looking at in the future for your company?
I'd say the biggest challenges are definitely market consolidation, things that would happen in most markets, the maturation of just the different spaces. That's definitely one of our challenges. I would say another big challenge is going to be how do we really take our business to the next level? Because we've been literally doubling every year. So how do you keep doing that? How do you stay on that type of growth pattern? And as Fabien was saying earlier, it's all about being disruptive. You know, and Odoo's doing that, and I think us utilizing these technologies coupled with our software development that we're working on internally, we're actually hoping to be able to integrate Odoo with our software platform to manage the licensing and the recurring billing and all that kind of stuff. So realistically, for us, it's all about using the industry disruptive technologies.
And really, yes, technology forward at all times. And we've already seen kind of pulling away from the gate, where we're seeing our competitors are not making, they're not utilizing technology in the way you should in 2018. And I think that's something that sets us apart. We're also a very young company. So I think that's been, while it has its challenges, it's also got its huge benefits because we have younger minds thinking in the new paradigm of how technology affects business, and we're really ready to shake the old guard.
So you think that Odoo can help you further in the plans that you just depicted to us?
Absolutely, and you know, it's comforting to know. Like when we first went on, when we first switched, Mike said, "This is the last time. We're not switching again. We're not switching systems again, or we're shutting the company down or selling it. Like, I cannot do this again." Probably lost some hair over it. So it's really comforting to know that we have a scalable platform that will take us to being a $100 million company if we want. Like, that's our next goal.
Yeah, and honestly, it's being shown through some of the larger products that we're offering now. We're offering a lot more plant scale options in terms of distillation technologies, and when we're doing that, we're dealing with like 4 different warehouse locations. Some of them are virtual. There's release purchase. We place a master purchase order, which then has miniature, if you will, release purchase orders underneath it. So creating the management system for that is something we're working on with Sodexis at the moment. And just to know that if I need to develop a new process for a new type of product, I can do that. I don't have to worry about, oh, well, you know, I need to buy this connector, and then I need to hire this guy to do this, and then it just turns into this big mess, and you got all these little breakpoints. But instead, we have one system that doesn't have the breakpoints. It's all talking to itself. Which is just...
And almost everything is able to be built within a, I would say, 2 to 6 week cycle is kind of what we run on in terms of new functionality, improvements, and it's a constant feedback loop. I really try to drive it home to our team. Don't get frustrated, get creative, write it down, let's talk about it, because we'll make this better for you. And you don't need to be, you know, grumbling about it, like, well, what do you want done? And let's make it happen. So that's been, it makes business a lot more fun. I was having to say no way too much to people, and if you hear no long enough, you just become the enemy in the office.
That seems that there's a very good match between the V12 features that we announced yesterday and some of the plans that
we can't wait. And
we literally can't wait. I literally told Sodexis, I was like, we need to do this now. We need to, because honestly, a lot of it's just, it's going to say it's efficiency. Yeah. And at the end of the day, as you guys were just talking about, in a small to medium business, efficiency, cash, all those things are just paramount. And
we put several projects on hold yesterday, called the team to say, like, hold off, like, there's this V12 is really going to be able to handle and improve on things that we were going to try and customize, or like the subscription stuff for our software we were going to do through our website, but now I think we're going to move our website. No, I don't think we are. We're moving our website onto the Odoo platform, which is going to be the next daunting task for me. I can't wait.
Well, I think on that very positive note, it only leaves me to thank you very much for sharing your experiences. And again, hope to see you next year. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much
for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. We will now have a break, and we will start in about 20 minutes the following sessions. Thank you so much.